Ladies and gentlemen, here's the decider match from Group 4 of the 1,000-pound Deathmatch tournament. In the blue color, this is Buster playing as Hades. On the other side, his opponent, it is Strausshaus. I'm sorry to say that once again, we do not get the spectator interface. It's something with these guys. I have no clue what's going on. We found some kind of bug and I just don't know what's causing it. Yeah, Hades versus Gaia, it can go both ways, right? It really depends whether you get to the late game sufficiently. You got to be super careful against Pestilence, because if you get hit with a massive Pestilence, you just aren't able to train stuff, and the Master Xodis will absolutely destroy you. Alright, so that's very problematic for sure. We've also got a lot of buildings coming up for Buster, but they're not really acting as a wall. He's just pumping them out up front. His heroic age is gonna come through Apollo, and we're looking at a Freya from Strausshaus if we can get several Hesperides trees up. The Dryads are going to be a huge problem for Greek. You pump out enough Arcus to snipe the Greek heroes, and you just pump the Dryads non-stop. Let's say you get up to 3 Hesperides trees, right? That's 15 Dryads you can have. A lot of Mythians for Greek to manage. Or not manage and lose to. it often can end up in that scenario. But early on, Greek have the edge. You'll see from the spam. Hippospis obviously shred through the Murmillo. They never had a chance. Once you have all the armory upgrades, it's just very one-sided, as these guys have like 50% armor. Artemis is gonna be the last god here for our Greek player. Chimeras getting added into the mix, and the Toxodis and Peltas having the poison on them. Strauss is just getting absolutely flooded and overwhelmed. His palaces could be denied if this Greek army focuses, as the unfinished buildings do take extra damage. It's definitely something to be thinking about, but he's not. He's attack moving, he's not actively target firing or right clicking. Excuse me. Palaces are getting torn down. Pestilence is about to be unlocked. And once that happens, this Greek flood is just going to continue doing its thing. Strauss is trying to establish a second base, but unfortunately for him, I don't think this base is producing anything right now. Yeah, just swapping over to Strausshaus's view. Nothing is making units until just the moment I said it. So yeah, this Pestilence is absolutely terrifying at the moment. The Peltas will be taking down every Arcus that pops out. The only chance here to make a comeback happen would be through the Guardians of Io. That's gonna be a nice little poison detonation there, but it's not enough by itself. You would need like 3 of them to one-shot the hoplites. And of course, we've got Perseus in the battle as well, so he can handle them. But yeah, Blobs in theory would be a great unit to use here. Of course, don't forget, Pestilence shuts down the palace fire and towers as well, if there were any. So it makes it super easy to fight under enemy buildings. And these Peltas just absolutely wrecking everything. The Hoplite, Hippospis, Peltas with Myth unit and Helipolis mix is just absolutely deadly. You get reinforced by Shades. Maybe even a front TC can be taken if Buster is feeling adventurous. Probably a good idea to keep some units around that. But his push is so good right now. Can't complain. Strauss is kind of recovering, guys. I think there might be some amount of hope here. He's spamming from every building now. He's got a town center. Sadly, not this one still, but there is some hope. Can he get himself a Hesperides tree perhaps, or anything at all? Oh, the free Helipolis will destroy us in absolutely no time. Oh my god. Ah, that's a full reset. All resources lost, by the way, spent on the settlement there. And meanwhile, Buster has a third town center No fourth just yet, but he can work on that very soon. Also, he's getting some fortresses up. The peltasts are crazy in number at this point. He probably overmade them, to be honest. But as long as they can keep the hellet bullets working, that's all he needs. And you know, poison over time is strong enough to honestly deal with the destroyers as well. That's the crazy part. Because it keeps stacking. The more javelins they throw at the destroyer, the more poison damage is applied. Look, did you see what happened at the end? The numbers just kept ticking over. It's nuts. Doesn't matter what kind of armor you have. I mean, it does, but it's offset. Fourth town center is now underway. There's two chimeras chilling out over there. The peltasts are tearing down buildings. Like it or not, they can do it. 4x against buildings, you gamers. Are we gonna see a big ass implode on this? I think we are. It's coming. 20 seconds. Be patient. And you will be rewarded. The big suck is coming. Earthquake didn't actually destroy much, did it? The CC is fine. Oh, here comes the suck. Let's go. Oh my god! What is it doing? Why is it spamming the sound? That was so weird. Everybody got sucked in though, and there's very little left. Holy crap. He was full pop. What is he now? Still full pop. He pumped so many units that he's fine. He's still got like 15k resources total. Okay. That was shiny, but it didn't do anything. So therefore, it is balanced. Oh my god! I am telling you guys, make Guardians of Io. He just disappeared half that army. He's doing it again. Watch. See all those corpses? Another one. That's not very well targeted though. You just gotta make a bunch of these blobs. That's the victory condition. Get it in the middle of the archers. It should at the very least force spread formation, but ideally manual splitting or movement. So it wasn't really the implode that would save this game, but the Guardians of Io, and we're just not seeing that from Strauss. I think he will rewatch this, and next tournament he's just making blobs. That's what's gonna happen, because that's super cost effective right there. If you have enough Arcus, you can deal with the Greek heroes. That's not an issue. But unfortunately for Strauss, he's out of resources, I'm pretty sure. And with that, yeah, I mean, equal-ish looking kills, but it was mostly peltasts and hippospis. They're not that expensive, so gold-wise, Buster was in a fantastic condition. He also bought Mythians that didn't cost gold, mostly Chimera. He still had a lot of favor left, so recasting God Powers was absolutely on the table. Didn't use Underworld even, so Strauss just got really outspammed at the beginning. Brutal, brutal, brutal first game. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with game number 2. In the blue color, Strausshaus is going to be playing as Poseidon. The other guy on the other side is red. And his name is Buster. He's playing as 4. Let's see how that will work out this time. Last time they fought in this same group, Strausshaus kind of manhandled him. He had some trouble early on. The throwing axeman can be difficult to deal with, but I think if he figures out that Cyclops actually beat up throwing axeman pretty good, adds in a little bit of peltast, I think Strauss should have a pretty good time overall. Let's see what happens with that. Pawns of Hersier are getting trained. We've got the Hippospis coming in. Oh my god, we have the Spectator UI. Oh my god, yes. Yes, by the gods. We've unlocked the Spectator UI. It's so good. Whatever has happened, everything is forgiven now. I feel really good about it. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't forgive that one. Let's see a wall here, and then Buster should be able to build up the TC pretty much uncontested, but if he doesn't do it, Strauss, all he needs to do is just grab a handful of Hippospis and shift click them around here. That would be easy to do. Is he gonna think of it? Because, you know, you expect people to be walled off, but I think it's worth checking. I think it's worth checking to start with. You don't just flood into the middle because, well, guess what? The Berserks are numerous and they're gonna hold back the Hippospis long enough for the throwing axemen to grind them down. You can't really flood into that if the Norse player builds this way. Well, to be honest, even if they had built TC focused, the TC would be already up and they'd have an even bigger army, so... Like I said, it is difficult to go about this. Plenty of buildings all around. There's the group that's going to check the TC, but they're going to be greeted by Hersier, so this is not going to work. Throwing axemen are peppering these guys pretty damn hard. The Healing Spring is a really good response to this. We've got the Pestilence coming in also, and the Norse army has been pretty much beaten back as they've just gotten a little bit too deep. The Hippospis count has grown too large, and now they're able to handle the throwing axemen as well, to be honest. The Colossus is coming through, and we're gonna have a bunch of heavy Petrobolos added in. Can our Norse player actually reach 3 town centers? It shouldn't be a huge issue. Meanwhile, Strauss is getting a ton of fortresses up for defense. A bunch of towers will be next. But yeah, you got to have Peltast. And I think Strauss is realizing it. Now he's spamming them, and that will make a huge difference against this pretty much only ranged Norse army. Why are those axes still spinning? So funny. Maiden says in the chat that Baldur is insane to go for. I agree, which is why the DM mod actually buffs their HP by 100. It does take away from the Hell version to make them the same, because those are good, but yes. And we also buffed the Ragnarok heroes by a little bit, so... It's a start. I'm not sure it's enough. But tier has been meta. That's definitely true. 100%? No! 100 HP, so there's 700 instead of 600. It's a start. Let's see how they do. I mean, we can see how they do it if you don't make them, Buster. In which case, I'm not sure why we're going Baldur, because tier would just give you better berserks. The forward lure again. People keep disrespecting that god power. I don't know, it's like, oh, I don't want to see this on my screen. I'll just waste it. I don't know why. It still attracts hunt. Hunt is faster than farming. Make use of it, guys. Please don't use it as a meme. Also, it's not gonna go away from your screen. It's gonna come back. It's not the old game anymore. Well, the choke point is certainly doing Strausshaus no favors. Throwing axemen just kind of shred through everything that's coming his way. Including the fortress. Not that the fortress is going their way. Maybe when Hagrid develops his dumpster fire mod, it can do that. But yeah, guys, the throwing axemen do have 2x against buildings. Even without flaming weapons, this is scary stuff. They would be able to siege down this whole thing if allowed to do so. And Strausshaus isn't producing enough, he doesn't have enough resources, he's on 100 population versus 230. Getting just completely out-pumped here. The counter-attack with the big bonkers and the Helipolis. This guy is a bonker. Hey, in the DM mod, we gave him some area damage. So that's neat. Makes him good against wolf raids. Well, militia aren't gonna do much here. They got off exactly 4 pokes. And then they died. The police did manage to tear down the town center, but there's some berserks to answer the call. Can they actually get those destroyed in time? Looks like it's Strauss's problem with time actually right now. He's facing an army of 200 population. He might have some extra villagers, but it's really his own town center is getting destroyed. His own base is being destroyed. He's trying very, very hard to get some Myth units out, but oh man, this Hippolyta has been in the base the whole time. We have a bunch of fire giants now, guys. I'm still not sure they make a big difference, but once there's 5, they should. Especially with ballista support. So what I want to really see is Buster taking over this base, getting up to 4 town centers, making even more fire giants and ballista. There's a little bit more filler as well to keep everything else at bay. Oh my god, everything is walled off. This gold mine is actually acting as a wall for the fire giants, so they have to go around in circles. That's annoying. That's why you really want a forward temple. So whenever you play Norse, do remember to make a forward temple as your first building's complete. So that the fire giants don't have to walk a million miles. Well, those lions are very dead right now. I'm pretty sure death is permanent in this game. There goes the 4th town center. Unfortunately, fire giant abilities are all whiffing. None left for the Toxotes ball, the place where it matters the most. I wanted to see it, but we are not getting clips today. Denied. Okay, here's an opportunity. Come on, Buster. I know you want it. Oh! Oh my god! One more! Come on! I think they're distracted. They're distracted by the hero and they're getting bonked. There's more fire giants. Come on. Let's see it. The Toxotes are asking for it. You know it to be true. Come on, Buster. Show us what you can do. Get him. Oh! Oh! Goodbye, archers. It's been nice. But it's over. Another good thing about Baldur is that you get the sick raiding cavalry upgrade, Sons of Sleipnir. Doing some extra damage against archers there. 2.5x. We do get a clip out of this one. Sometimes it works out. 450 kills against 317. There is hope for Baldur yet, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.